Hi, folks. This is Mark, and this is my co-host Harry, and we host Hitting the Mark with Harry and Mark.
Hi.
Say hi, Harry. There you go. Just trampling all over your lines.
Fantastic.
Anyway, we are two idiots who like to talk about idiot things. Pop culture, science fiction, games, movies, books if we know how to read, mainly coloring books, and occasionally politics if we're feeling stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the things that we've been talking about lately, because of course the pandemic is going on, and what better time to start a podcast along with thousands of other people probably than during a pandemic when we're all locked inside. One of the things that we wanted to get into was, as moviegoers, two people who genuinely love to kind of just exchange like our ideas on film and oh wow, let's go see this movie or let's go see that movie. The areas we were born and raised in, there's not all that much to do, and given our friend groups, especially with the theater nearby, you're going to the movies like at least once every other week.
Yeah.
Which is why it's really tough, because all of these non-essential businesses are closed. Theaters are one of them. And folks, this is not a condemnation of the shutdown. This is not a condemnation of the government or anything like that. This is just two guys understanding that things need to stay shut for people's safety, but kind of missing the fact that we can't go see these movies. And if theaters were open, by the way, on my own personal level, Harry, I don't know about you, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
I would not go personally until I'm fairly certain that the wind has kind of blown out all the dangerous stuff.
Yeah,
Harry, I heard you squawking a bit. Yeah.
No, I second that. I'm not touching a movie theater with a 10-foot pole. Well,
there
probably
you go.
100
and a half foot pole.
Sorry,
Yeah.
stand corrected.
But I mean, all things said and done, again, this isn't us complaining about the government shutdown or anything like that. I personally think it's a good idea. I understand that businesses are in a little crunch and all that kind of thing. But all things said and done, this is just, again, two guys just who love movies complaining that we can't see movies on the big screen on greasy goddamn couches with like buttery fingers. That's all. That's all. But one of the things that's happening is there is a push for soon to be released or already pushed back films, feature films, to keep pushing their air date in theaters, which is technically not even given a release date.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea technically when theaters are going to open at full capacity, which is killing them to begin with. And then there are also steps to add these feature films to buy and rent for ridiculous prices on apps, streaming services. A perfect example is Mulan, a trash movie for a trash app. Please don't sue me, Disney. No, all jokes aside, Disney Plus released Mulan on their streaming service. I'm fairly certain they probably released it in a couple theaters, but it's released on the app, and I'm not entirely sure how it did financially. I know it was a critical failure, but besides the point, this is a movie that was being sold as this big Disney, historical epic, and this is something that during the summer theaters would just sell and sell and sell, and it's not happening. I know that there are some theaters out there, and I know that there's always going to be people just like the idiots who are doing Thanksgiving and who are increasing the lines for COVID testing, who are going to see these movies no matter what, who are going to do no matter what. But it doesn't change the fact that these theaters need a consistently large, high volume amount of business that they're still not getting, despite, the thousands of people who are going. These businesses need millions of people, their asses in seat, watching these things. So it's tough, when you have all these corporations and companies just deciding to send these films to the streaming services. Now you're probably saying, no, they're not doing that. They're doing a half and half. Well, why would I go to a theater if I know that I can just pay to see it on my couch? Now, Harry's probably gonna, well, I'm not gonna let him speak because I love to run my fucking mouth. But Harry and I would probably say it's for the experience of going to see a big screen spectacle.
I mean, I agree because
Harry, you better agree with me. So
I'm just saying, like, so I would give this example. Like we've talked about in previous podcasts, I love Lord of the Rings, and
yes,
I own the extended version on both DVD and Blu-ray. And they were actually showing the extended version in a theater in a nearby city, and I bought tickets for all three movies because I said I want to watch Lord of the Rings extended edition in a theater atmosphere. The reason why you go is for that big movie event. Like, not everyone, I'm pretty sure the majority of people in this world don't own a massive movie theater thing like that, and it's like, you want that experience. Some people like to have their popcorn and drink and whatever, nachos, hot dog, whatever. But I think it's just sitting in a theater in the dark watching a movie with really good surround sound and a big ass fucking projector.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And let's not forget, folks, the most social thing that you could do is sit in a dark room and tell the people to shut the fuck up when they whisper minutely. Okay. But yeah, no. Harry and I. Our friend group would go see a movie. I'm not joking. Every other week. This is a spectacle that I don't know. I don't mean to speak hyperbole about something that I'm suspecting happening, because it's probably not necessarily the case, but something that could very well disappear. Again, why would I want to go see a movie that I've been wanting to see for a while now that there's a risk of going to the theater when I can just rent it? There's talk of putting the Black Widow on Disney Plus now too, and if that's the case, it will be the first MCU film technically to skip theaters. Again, I know they're not skipping theaters; they're doing both theater and home audience streaming. But again, if there's a pandemic and a film is being released on streaming services, you're rendering the theater completely irrelevant, obsolete. It's the same thing with what we'll segue into the main topic that we were talking about is Warner Brothers' decision to I believe it's to stream 17 movies within its 2021 year schedule directly to HBO Max. And they've also rescinded the 7-day free trial period for the release of Wonder Woman 1984 on December 25th. So what's getting me is you know me, Harry. I can't seem to shut up when I learn a new word. I read Dune recently.
Yes.
And I'll get into this discussion another time because I'm already talking enough. But I love Dune. I love how funny the movie is. I enjoy how campy the show is. And I love the book. I think it's a great book that hasn't been properly adapted. And I've been waiting for the Denis Villeneuve film that was supposed to come out this holiday, this Christmas, this winter's solstice celebration, right?
Yeah.
And they pushed it back because of these the restrictions. Again, this is not a condemnation of the pandemic or the lockdown. This is just me complaining because I'm a middle class white kid. But now it's been pushed back to October of 2021, and now they're even probably going to release it on HBO Max. And that's the same thing with a couple of these other movies as well. Off the top of my head, I don't know. Dune's the only one that really matters to me, so they can all go fuck themselves. But this is a problem. I do think this is a big problem because, as I've said before, we'll include the theaters thing doesn't really matter if no one's significantly going to go to the theaters. Like, sure, yeah, again, thousands of people are going to go. A lot of people are going to go no matter what. But it's not the same numbers that these big theaters or even like family theaters need to survive.
Yeah. And
that's the hard part.
Yeah, I mean, HBO, like, HBO Max, what, is like $10, $15 for a monthly subscription? Probably cheaper if you do for the year.
They think they got that fucking Netflix clout, who, by the way, is turning it to fucking $17.99 a month, I think, in about 2 weeks. But yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, and, it's just that, like, you said there's 17 movies, correct?
I believe so. I can try pulling it up, but it would be very unattractive to see for my our viewers.
The biggest thing is that you're basically getting one movie. You're basically going to be paying $12.99 or whatever the thing is for a movie a month, basically. Like,
yeah,
and so you're getting these, basically blockbuster movies. Not to
mention, if it's new, they're probably going to make you pay for it. Now, I don't want to jump to conclusions based on one movie, but they made you pay. You're supposed to pay like $30 to watch Mulan when it came out on Disney Plus. That's insane.
Yeah,
it's absolutely insane.
So that's on top of the subscription.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I mean, we have like one. Technically, we have in our area, we have like one, what I could assume is like a ma and pa small business thing, unless it's owned by like fucking Vault Tech and we just don't know it. And then we have one of the corporate ones. But like AMC, the perpetually going out of business like theater company, they're supposedly getting hit hard. But again, like, they're always going out of business. A couple of the theaters that we have around here are getting hit pretty hard. Yeah. We had a recently opened theater closed, was reopened, I think, about a month and a half ago because of all this mishigas about them loosening restrictions, and now they've tightened back up.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. I keep saying it's insane, and I don't want to sound like, oh man, the way back when it was such a better time, but I feel like there's an experience that is losing its value in this modern generation. It doesn't necessarily need to be the case. I mean, Godzilla. Godzilla. If I could take a moment, when you and I watched Godzilla, when all of us watched Godzilla in 2014, second best movie of that year, by the way. I'm still going for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Besides the point, that's a spectacle.
Yep.
Like, I don't have a practical reason. Like, I don't have like a debate or a rhetorical debate for like why a theater should stay. Like, if you want me to pull up statistics on how it like benefits like the general well-being of communities, fine. But like, I do think there is a cultural value that is being diminished when you can just beam it straight into your television set. And there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. But I feel like if something can be done, why not just do it? Which is what I feel like I'm shooting myself in the foot by saying. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you're right. Like, it looks like this might be for the future. Warner Brothers and all these other companies are probably just gonna be like, screw that, we're gonna just stream it. I'm sure HBO Max is paying them a lot of money to be able to stream those movies.
And the thing is, the filmmaker, I don't have the articles on hand, so I'm not going to get too far into it, but apparently, like, some of the filmmakers are recommending against this, which is interesting.
Well, so I'm just thinking of the movie companies. They are sitting on a lot of movies. They have spent a lot of money. They need money. Like, don't get me wrong. It's they already have a lot of money, but they want a lot more money. You know what I mean? Like, so they have to do something, and releasing them in theaters is not going to cut it. Not this current year, and most likely not next year. So this is the best thing they can do. Go to a streaming service, get money, and then, you know, just try to move on and get ready for the following years. I think it is going to be something, but again, like we were just discussing, the movie theater is an experience, and I'm sure 2022, 2023 and forward, the movie theater business is going to be right back where it started. I'm sure
$50 for popcorn.
Yeah. And I'm sure like companies are going to go back to not streaming it as soon as it releases on theater. I think they're going to cut back on that because this is why, and I was heard it somewhere, and it was a good point of like, if someone, people pirate things all the time.
Oh yeah.
And if you're able to stream
mid 2000s commercials.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm just saying, like if I have HBO Max and I basically on my computer, stream it on my computer, fucking record it, you know, like I am our podcast now, in fucking high definition 2080p, or, you know, some computers with the new fucking graphics card could do fucking 4K and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can do all that now. You know, it's not like you're they're making the point of you know, you don't have to be like watching some bootleg fucking video, buying from a flea market where it's some dude like with shaky ass camera in a movie theater with like shitty audio. It's like, it's not like that anymore.
Hashtag bootlegging literally is a victimless crime.
You know, like,
no, I completely agree on some of those, but to be honest, like I don't mean to be, I'm not trying to, I feel like I came off super doomery. I'm not saying like, oh, the soul of American cinema is in jeopardy, but I am worried with some of this like DoorDash style like cinema. Like, yes, don't get me wrong, I'm not trashing like Netflix style movies. Some of those are really good. I enjoy some of the gems, but I am worried when the quality of, or the prestige of film can be diminished a little bit from this, because it's like there was a hierarchy, not a hierarchy. Well, I guess so. There was a precedence. You would go to the theater, it would be shown for a limited time, and then you would give it a little time to accrue value as it's being mass produced to be resold for a general audience. And that is the culture that you and I grew up in. It's not always been like that, but I think I'm kind of attached to this culture because I do think it is a bit of a positive in some way. Again, not a rhetorical debate. I'm sure if you really wanted me to, I could probably try to find some information on how it's net positive. Yeah. But I mean, I do find cinema in the form of going out, going to a business, and watching this thing on the big screen is a net positive. There's a I wonder how much like of my location I can talk about like without someone like wanting to cut off a piece of my hair. But there's I'm sure you might know just from me vaguely gesturing, but there's a really great theater towards the city that has all the really weird chairs, and it's kind of like hipstery.
The IMAX?
Yeah, the IMAX is hipstery, Harry.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I go to one movie theater.
Yeah, no, I know the one you fucking go to. But like, I love going to those little places and occasionally, depending on the movie, gauging the emotional response. Like, I'm not, again, I know I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot by saying this a million goddamn times, but like, I love seeing these responses. It feels like a net positive, having this collective empathic feeling of like grandeur.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Split came out.
Okay.
I've told you this story a million times, right? When Split came out. For anyone who doesn't recall, 2.5 of you, one of my favorite movies, my top 3, probably my top 2, is Unbreakable. And I had known for years that M. Night Shyamalan had wanted to make a sequel to that, right? Mm-hmm. And it never came out. And his career kind of tanked a bit. We're not talking about The Last Airbender. You can do 15 movies perfectly fine, and you get one bad one, and everyone shits on you for it. I am a Shyamalan stan all the way. You can fight me. I don't care what he did to your childhood with Airbender. But he comes out with Split, and I'm like, oh, this is a cool movie. The last 30 seconds pop on the screen, and it's this like 30 foot by whatever foot, and I see Bruce Willis's ugly, tired of acting mug reprising the role of David Dunn, just doing that casual fucking mention of Samuel Jackson's character. And that experience alone was better on the big screen, and looking back and seeing like the 20 odd people hearing my dumbfounded response and just seeing that, I think was great. Again, it's all appeal to emotion. Don't fucking debate me, 2.5 people, please. God, no. I'm such a train wreck.
I don't know, like I don't know. It's just it's an interesting situation with it. I agree. Like I think there is some doom and gloom in the sense of like it might do so well that they might continue doing it past pandemic. But I guess I'm more of an optimistic person where it's like like would I want to watch a major movie in a movie theater or in at home? Like my antisocial self says, yeah, do it at home, but it's still like there's an experience in going to the movie theater and watching it there.
Oh yeah.
Especially very climactic parts where everyone's like, oh, like gasps and it's like, cause
you can't tell me no one fucking applauded when Cap just like yanked Mjolnir back after fucking sucker punching Thanos. Come on now. Yeah. You're telling me that you'd get like as hard or more being at home with an erection right next to your mom? Please.
Right.
You could bear that erection proudly in the dark next to your friends.
Yeah.
Incels, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I think I guess we'll just have to see what happens. I think overall it was a good move on Warner Brothers to not charge extra.
I hope not. Yeah.
Because I don't think
fucking greedy bastards.
Well, I mean, there's that, and then there's also the fact that like I don't think anybody would. There's more people inclined to look for a pirated version of a movie if they're being charged extra money, where if all you have to do is like, hey, if you just get HBO Max for X amount of money, you can watch it as many times as you want without some some like random website, or if you don't really know how to do all that stuff, like torrent stuff, like like you just go on HBO Max, a secure site, and watch it. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like some people already have it. It's like, well, there you go. So it's like, it was a really smart idea on their part, where I think Disney Plus really fucked up with Mulan. I personally haven't seen it. But
so I think I think I'm gonna watch it so that we can review it. I think in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But like
they're
releasing
it for free, right? Like, because
God, I hope so. They better fucking pay me or like give me like a month off Disney Plus to watch this fucking movie.
Like from what I heard is they're like when it first came out they're charging you $30, but then like I think they're releasing it for every Disney Plus member starting sometime in December. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I heard. So it's kind of like a fuck you to everyone who paid $30 to watch it.
Oh God, it's so good.
Like, oh wow, I paid $30 for. Oh.
Yeah, no, like I can't believe. I really hope no one genuinely paid $30-something for the Mulan movie. I really do. Like, that's a fate. That is quite a fate right there. That like you could put down on your bank statement that you paid $30 for fucking Mulan, motherfucker. Anyway, when I think about that, now that I've given it some thought, I'd like to lend a tad bit of credence because I would really like to have hoped that the idea was that like, oh, okay, well, we can stream to alleviate people's like desire to wait and to prevent as few people or to prevent as many and to prevent people from dying. Like, hey, like, let's air this. You know what? Let's air it. We're still going to make money off of the streaming services. We're probably going to get more people who want to just tune in just to see these fucking movies, and let's just call it that. But it's not. There's a growing trend towards streaming, and there's a growing trend towards releasing movies sooner after they've been theatrically released or after they've been commercially released. I'm probably saying it fine. Where after they've been released in theaters, this is a growing trend, and I just wonder its effect on the cinema industry, or at least the theater industry. I don't think like the theater industry is going to be fucking belly up in like the next year. I don't even think it's going to be 5 or 10 years, but it's going to change, and I just hope that it does not change for the worse.
Yeah, I agree.
Like $50 popcorn.
Right. Moving on to gaming news. Cyberpunk came out. I've actually watched a couple of people that I watch on Twitch and YouTube play. Watch Doc.
Does the Doc play it?
Yeah, he played it this past week, and I saw one of my favorite YouTubers back in the day, CNanners. He made a comeback this year from being off of any YouTube social media for like almost 3 years. He just randomly came back and was like, hey, I'm gonna start streaming stuff. So I was watching him, but yeah, I saw a little bit of it. I saw some images on Twitter of some stuff. It's an intriguing game. So I haven't played it. I've seen people play it, and I learned from experience that watching a game or someone play a game and then you personally playing a game are two different completely experiences. So I'm going to talk about it in the sense of watching it, and real quick, it's not going to be great.
Yeah, of course.
It's not going to be great because again,
dude, don't even worry. Tell me. I want to know.
So
you fucking peeping Tom.
So watching people play, especially single player RPG games, is fucking boring. The person has to be super entertaining behind it. That's why I think Doc is a perfect candidate, because he himself is super entertaining. So he's a great person to watch. But like the gameplay, like if you're getting anybody, like you're literally sitting there and you're going through all your stats. You're going through like, okay, what's the next skill I should get? What is this piece of armor? You know, like it's like playing. To me, it's like playing Fallout or playing Skyrim. Like everything you pick up, you look at and you inspect, and you're like, "Is this good for me? Is this not good for me?" And you go through every mission. You know, it's a boring game to watch, and that happened to me when I watched my friend play Fallout 3 originally. I used to sit there and watch him play a couple times. I'm like, dude, that game looks fucking boring as shit, dude. I need to go play Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, if you're fucking watching like someone play Fallout 3 and you're like, wow, this fucking place looks boring as shit.
Yeah.
And then some zombie attacks you and all of a sudden you can't fire right in front of you because you're fucking Fallout 3 and you fucking suck with shooting.
Right.
But like, yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah, so like that was my experience with watching Cyberpunk. Like, I'm sure it's a great game to sit down and play. It's I'm trying to find the word. It's aesthetic wise, it's not my cup of tea. Like the whole futuristic.
You're not a fan of the cyberpunk genre.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love Fallout. I love post-apocalyptic.
You have no taste.
I love fantasy. That's why Elder Scrolls and Fallout I'm 100% down for. Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah.
Like it reminds me sort of like Borderlands. Just the aesthetic look of it. Aesthetic only. That's it.
Don't. God.
It's like Borderlands was cool, but it's just aesthetically wise, it just didn't ever really grasp me like the other RPGs do. But again, that's just a personal taste. Visually, again, it looks fucking amazing. Again, I've seen some pictures and what people are running it at, and it looks like a beautiful game. It's just personal taste, not my cup of tea. But you have played Cyberpunk.
You know what I have? I'd like to tell you about my experience.
Please tell.
There are a few people who can be as entertaining, and I'd like to be one of these people. My wonderful experience with Cyberpunk. So, it's last night. The game is downloaded. My girlfriend, my beautiful girlfriend, is lying in bed waiting for me to caress her beautiful body. But no, I have to play Cyberpunk. In fact, I made a deal with her because I rosy colored this game up for her, and she says, "Oh, that sounds cool. Oh, yeah." I told her about the life paths, about the nomad, about the street kid, and the corpo. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'd be a bad bitch corpo, and I'd fuck everyone over." And I'm like, "Oh, you psycho! I love it." And so I told her, like, "Hey, you could pick the life path for me, right?" And she says, "Oh, well, you seem like a street kid, so you pick that one, right?" So we get into the character creation model. And we're doing all the cool, fun stuff, right? And we got some cool hair. My character's got like green hair with some yellow highlights.
Okay.
It's cool cybernetics. Couple of cool cybernetic eyes, right? So we're getting down to the tattoos, and all of a sudden it gets to genitals. No. I apologize. This is a lie. It gets to nipples first.
Wait, hold
on. I have the
There's an option for nipples?
It's an option for either nipples or no nipples. And I was gonna go nippleless. I was gonna.
I would be behind that.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. So I didn't. I was a coward. But so we get to the genital option. And so there is. I can either have a vagina as a pardon to anyone listening, and if I offend anyone, I am new to the vernacular. I am trying to learn as best I can. To a male presenting or masculine presenting man with a vagina, or God, I love it. There are two penis options. There's not circumcised. There's foreskinned or not foreskinned. And I had to grapple with that question back and forth for a good 20 minutes. And my girlfriend, the life is slipping out of her eyes, and the sand is collecting on her tear ducts, right? And I'm pressing the analog, or no, the D-pad back and forth, just to kind of scope out whether I want the flesh sweater or not. And I decide to go with sweaterless. I'm probably sharing too much, folks, but I feel a little like-minded with my character. Okay. Harry, get that image out of your head, you sick pervert. Anyway, so we're going through all of this, and I'm switching the sizes on it too. And I'm not gonna lie, I wanted a more in-depth genital creation tool. I wanted like the ability to switch my testicles on top of my shaft, or like on the side, like some weird like bulldog fighter pilot plane. But I couldn't. I could only change it to like 5 inches or like 8 inches, and that was disappointing because I would have really liked like a dick that like affected my body attribute. Like, oh, I have like a plus 5 for my body, right? And then I get like this dick that like hangs all the way down to my tibia, and like it just completely affects how I navigate the game, right? But I couldn't, and that broke my heart. So I'm gonna give the character creation a 5 out of 10. Everything else top notch, visuals great. So that's not even the best part. The best part is that the moment I start the game, my like metro cosmopolitan, like handsome debonair fellow, who's the gruff voice you hear in the commercials. Oh yeah, Night City will chew you up. Yeah. I'm a grizzled netrunner. I forgot I picked the female voice. So I got this guy looking in his mirror, resetting his nose. The bartender hands him this shot, and he's looking all badass, or presenting badass. And all of a sudden, the dialogue option comes up. I select whatever option and it says, "Hey man, what's going on here? Huh?" Again, nothing wrong with that. I don't mean to assume masculine or whatever, but it took me for a laugh. I took myself way too seriously, and I got played. So you're probably wondering, well, Mark, you're talking about character creation. Let's get to the good stuff. Well, you know what? I had to put pleasure in front of business, and I decided to treat my girlfriend like the princess she was, cuddle her to sleep, as she looks at me now laughing. And I only played 5 minutes of the game, and I'm going to play some tomorrow, and you're all going to have to wait. All 2.5 of you are all going to have to wait until next Thursday or whenever, because I swear to God, I'm going to get another 5 minutes into that game. And if anything cool happens, I'll tell you. But it'll never be as good as when I hoped that my dick in the game, not my real one, because let's be honest, me tripping over my dick is not happening ever. That broke my heart. Broke my heart.
So my only question is,
and this, yeah,
was there options for tattoos or piercings on penis or vagina?
So they gave me a see, that's the disappointing part. I couldn't even control like the girth or the puffiness of the genitals. That's the disappointing part. I just got like the typical like schlong, and then if I wanted slightly larger schlong, it wasn't even significantly larger. But I tell you what though, the only benefit to this is when you are casually rotating your character left and right, the penis is the only part of the body that sways.
That's good.
So I grappled with this, and I spent a good 5 minutes clicking the triggers to rotate the body as hard as I could to see the dick flangle back and forth. So anyway, you had something that you wanted to say about a couple of new additions to Call of Duty that don't involve penis relations.
Right. It's just a quick update for the the Black Ops update finally after the delay. So there is obviously the Black Ops updates, but we don't play Black Ops. We don't play zombies. What we do, hate
Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, what we do is we play Warzone. So there's a whole new map called Rebirth Island.
So let me ask you something, because you sent me some info on that. Is that going to be integrated in Modern Warfare Warzone at all, or is that going to be its own thing?
So basically, Warzone is no longer integrated to just Modern Warfare, it's going to be like its own standalone thing.
Oh my god!
So when you play Warzone,
Call of Duty do without it?
when you're playing Warzone, you're playing Warzone. Like so what they're doing is, I don't know if they're going to completely get rid of the other map, or if they're going to, like, you get to choose which map, or, it's at random. I'm not sure yet. But it's a whole new map. It's replacing Verdansk, whatever it's pronounced. So we're going to have to fucking learn a new map.
You're telling me that Verdansk is no longer going to be the playable map?
I'm not sure.
Air traffic control is my favorite fucking part of that map. It's indefensible, but it's the funnest part. You fucking take that from me. Oh, I'll lose my mind.
Well, hopefully there's another one in Rebirth Island. We'll find it. We'll find it just for
Verdansk.
You. Yeah.
Good man. I know I can count on you.
And there's going to be a whole new...
Big dick poggers.
Big dick poggers. There's going to be a whole new gulag as well when you're playing on the Rebirth
Island. It looks like a fucking 5-year-old paintball field.
Yeah, it's interesting. Not sure what exactly. There's like a bus and an RV, and that's all I see. So
a lot of plywood.
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of liked the prisoner thing, but we'll see what this is. And I guess from what I hear, when I heard from other people, is they're gonna add, I guess, all the Black Ops guns to Warzone.
Oh, it's like the shitty 80s guns, like that shitty Uzi. Ugh.
Yeah. So they're going to add those to Warzone. So
there's a reason there are more like COD softers now. And it's for that exact reason, because like everyone loves the modular rifle that you could put a can opener on it. It's got like a nice tactical can opener, but it's like, no, you can't do anything with that with an Uzi from the 80s. Come on now.
Yeah. So I guess the new weapons and operators are just for obviously integrated between Black Ops, Cold War, and Warzone. So there's the new weapons, the Groza assault rifle, the MAC-10 submachine gun, and the Street Sweeper shotgun. So these are specific just for the season. They're brand new, so those aren't included in the free weapons that are going to be thrown at you once the new update is going to be released.
I've got more guns to suck at.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
And obviously there's a new operators, which I personally don't really care about. I don't know. I just run the ghillie suit and that's it. And then obviously there's
people who like the Cold War are weird.
Yeah. I guess there's new vehicle, new score streak. This is for the multiplayer. I guess there's 2v2 gunfight returns, more multiplayer maps. I guess there's new multiplayer game modes. And then for zombies, there's a new mode called Cranked, and then Jingle Hells. I'm guessing Halloween.
No.
Yeah. And then for the battle
zombies
pass,
will forever be that one map where it was you and probably one other person who had to guard one room.
Mm-hmm.
One. You hear me? None of this Jeff Goldblum, Ron Perlman bullshit. Love the actors, not the performance. Well, not their performances, but no. We're not talking about that ever. I don't know. You say zombies again, I'll hurt you.
The what?
Exactly. So again, if I may, how much? So you've been saying that Warzone is a completely separate thing now, and this will be integrated into Warzone. So I wonder, did they say whether or not we can like do like quads or trios or duos on Verdansk or Rebirth Island? Or
I don't think they've gone into detail yet. I could be wrong about whether
we're amateurs. It's all good.
Yeah, whether they're going to get rid of the old map or if they're going to do it at random. They might bring it back, maybe like for special events or something. I don't know. But from what I know here, it's we have a new map that we can play. Again, I don't know if it's completely taking over the old map or if it's when you click quads BR, it decides which one it's going to throw you in. I'm not sure yet. We'll find that out next week. And we'll have
Dragon Ball Z.
So next topic. This is just me, basically fanboying out. Neither of us really play Smash. Neither of us really play Smash, and nowhere near competitive or anything. But I am a huge Final Fantasy VII fanboy. And today, they released that a new character is playable for Smash, and that is Sephiroth, the main exactly the main villain from Final Fantasy VII. I got goosebumps when I watched that shit. It was good. It was fucking good. Will I play Smash? No, I will not. But if we ever get out of this pandemic and I'm forced to play Smash with my friends again, I will flip a coin to decide whether I play Cloud or Sephiroth. Either way, I will lose and die probably first.
But you know what? You'll die in style.
Yeah. Hopefully,
ladies and gentlemen, to show you what a good friend I was to Harry. One of his favorite themes to a video game is the Sephiroth theme, the or whatever. So immediately, because I'm the second most obnoxious one in the friend group, I found out that this was his favorite one, and I would shriek it as obnoxiously as I could until the love and happiness in his eyes kind of fluttered. And then I stopped because I knew I had just taken everything from him. So yeah, that's the kind of guy I am.
Yeah, it's news, gaming news that we want to throw in there.
Who, you know what? I actually wanted to ask this because I know you're excited for Sephiroth, but who would be a pick out of the people that, or the IPs that you haven't seen represented in Smash Brothers that are a part of the Nintendo label?
Right. Who would I want to see?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because I'm fairly certain I think you're good with Cloud and Sephiroth, but
I mean, dude,
you want to see Tifa?
No. My probably second favorite IP, or I would probably choose would be maybe, just because again fanboying, throwing in fucking Aragorn or something.
Fucking Aragorn? I said Nintendo IP.
Oh,
fucking
my bad. I thought we were going outside of Nintendo IP, just because Nintendo is who haven't they put in there that is part of Nintendo?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I feel like they already threw everyone in there.
Oh yeah.
So
hold on.
Am I wrong?
I mean, they were on the Nintendo, but the N64, but I don't know. I could see fucking Odd Job from GoldenEye, or
okay.
I know it'd be a wacky one. But I think you'd call back to a lot of N64 fans. And now I'm thinking to myself, if Mark ever hears this, he's like, "You never played fucking GoldenEye. You don't play inverted. I learned inverted off of that." And then when he hears this part, he's gonna be like, "Whatever." But seriously. That or Conquer. Come on now, Conquer.
I played 2 games off the N64, or Ocarina of Time and Rush 64.
Rush the band?
No, Rush the fucking race car game.
Oh god. I got a PlayStation 1 around the time the fucking N64 came out, and it was fucking Jet Moto, I think. It was the fucking the hover bike game, Jet Moto, or I don't fucking. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Fuck it. Bullshit.
Yeah, like I originally bought an N64 to play all the Pokemon games, right? I was like, I'm gonna get Pokemon Snap, I'm gonna get Pokemon Coliseum, like this is it. I'm about to fucking raise all the Pidgeotos and fuck shit up. And when I like finally got an N64, I was like, I want Pokemon Coliseum, and it's Pokemon Stadium, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah.
That's how much I fight. That's how much I played it. I was like, I want Pokemon Stadium. They're like, oh, we don't have that. And I was like, oh, well, what do you have? They're like, we have this game, and they showed me Ocarina.
Rush.
They're like, they showed me Ocarina of Time, and I was like,
man, this looks stupid.
I was like, okay. Me being a fucking little kid, like, okay, I guess I'll take it. And then they like, I think my dad was like, oh, let's get you a racing game. I was like, okay, and he got me Rush. It was probably like 50 cents off a fucking.
What is it with like adults not understanding what to get our generation in terms of games? Like when I got a fucking Xbox 360, my fucking aunt got me that like the first 3D Sonic game. You know, the one where it's like photorealistic almost, and then just some random cartoony ass motherfucking Sonic just comes in, and you have to like run in not 3D, but like in 3 dimensions. Yeah, she got me that shit. I couldn't even figure out how to get out of the fucking level. You know that one, the one that's all buggy. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. That's insane. Why can't you just ask a store person, be like, hey, what's a good game? Halo, or Final Fantasy, or Call of Duty, or something, or Barbie's Playhouse. And fucking come on now, it's not hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I was not loved enough as a child. No, I'm kidding, Dad. I love you. You know you love me.
But yeah. So I don't know. What game did you say? Conquer. The squirrel, the naughty ass squirrel. He fights the teddies. They're like a parable for Nazis. You jump on flower person titties. Come on, Harry. I'm sorry, I didn't play it.
God damn it,
but
man.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, inside Nintendo, I'm not sure what else could be thrown into the Smash, but outside Nintendo,
Aragorn.
Yeah, Aragorn.
You motherfucker.
But on a serious note, I don't know, man. Again, I don't play that. I don't play that game, and I don't play fighting games in general because I suck at all of them. But I think another good IP, because like when they first announced Cloud, I was like, wait, what? Cloud?
Yeah, I saw you had like spittle on you.
And obviously this has been a couple years now. So going like outside of Nintendo and Capcom and whatever else, like I think I don't know. I don't think it'll ever happen, but some sort of like a Blizzard, like I don't know, Diablo or Kerrigan from StarCraft 2. I think those would be really big.
Don't make me get the squirt bottle, Harry.
Yeah, I think those would be a good addition. I think a lot of people would be down for that. Or
that's fair.
Or. Let's say I don't really play World of Warcraft, but that's a huge fucking, that has a huge following. I don't know who's big in like character wise in Warcraft, so I don't know. I think people from there.
The person.
The orc. That one orc?
Yeah, the orc.
Yeah, that one orc.
Yeah.
He would be great in Smash.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I like that orc. My favorite character, that orc.
Yeah. The other thing would be some character in a Brotherhood of Steel armor. That'd be pretty dope.
Just fucking...
I don't know what kind of moves he'd do, but I think it would be cool to have him. But
I feel like we're making a bunch of like Nintendo weebs go because it's like,
I'm sure.
This is Xbox and Nintendo, or this is Xbox and Sony.
Yeah, what about Master Chief? I think Master Chief would be dope.
Yeah, his special would be him taking off his helmet and everyone dying from shock. I'd be down for that. That'd be cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would accept that.
Right. All right. I think out of news, I think we're good. There was a topic, or unless you have some more news.
I did actually, on a serious note, not serious. I wanted to follow up on my my review of Immortals: Fenyx Rising.
Correct.
So I had a little time to play it. Mm-hmm. I would say that it's pretty on par with like a solid Assassin's Creed game. I was talking to my friend about it a little earlier, and I felt like I was complaining from it, and he said, well, I told him it felt very Assassin's Creed-like, and I mentioned that kind of in a negative way, and he says, well, I thought you loved Assassin's Creed. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, I stopped liking Assassin's Creed kind of like after the Ezio. If you know anything about it, it's after the Ezio character, the second, third, or fourth game. And then I played the Assassin's Creed 3 kind of just for the sake of playing it. Mm. And after that, I was not excited until I saw Black Flag, right?
Okay, yeah.
And you know that I played Sea of Thieves for a really long time. Mm-hmm. And I've always wanted to play that experience of being just a pirate, having that freedom, being on the seven seas.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking like, well, yeah, I did like Black Flag for a while. And I was thinking to myself, why did I like it? And I came to the conclusion that like I did like it for a time because I liked the piratey aspects of it. Like,
right. That's
the stuff I enjoyed, but I didn't care for the mechanics that it was wrapped around.
Mm-mm.
The scan this, a million different things to look for on the map, this giant fucking map where it's like, collect this, get that. So I'm getting to a point with Immortals. I'm saying like 75% of the way through. I've gotten most of the chests. I've done most of like the side quests and all that other crap. And it's a fairly enjoyable, if a little tedious, hack and slash strategy kind of combat game, or not like an actual strategy combat game, but how do I put it? It does require a bit of strategy. It's not entirely a button masher. Mm-hmm. It's fairly rudimentary. It has a lot of this is gonna sound bad. This has a lot of Assassin's Creed Odyssey's kind of combat. The dodge, parry, attack, quick time bits. Mm-hmm. I'm feeling like there is an aspect to it that I was drawn to, mm-hmm. but another aspect to it that is diminishing me that I think... I don't think it's the Assassin's Creed-ness. I think it's the Ubisoft-ness of it, if that makes sense. I feel like if this was not a Ubisoft game, no offense, this would probably be somewhat better or more enjoyable or a little less formulaic. Because what's getting me is, oh yeah, I'm crawling over this hill and I'm seeing this beautiful sunset and I'm climbing up this gorgeous statue of Hephaestus or Athena or Ares or Aphrodite or whatever. And the next thing that I have to do is the thing I was telling you about, the scan option.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm scanning, and I have like 100 different things that I have to find. And all of them are the same thing, guarded by a couple like relatively difficult, not even difficult, they're just kind of time-consuming bad guys, and a couple of like puzzles.
Right.
And then when I get to like the chambers that mimic the shrines in Breath of the Wild, Breath of the Wild, the platforming is kind of weak. Again, I really feel, I don't know what it is specifically, but I feel really bad comparing this game to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like, Breath of the Wild didn't invent all of this, but I feel like Breath of the Wild is a great example of how well these are utilized, because the stamina system is a little wonky, the climbing system is rigid and it's stiff, The camera system is a little odd. Even the crafting system. The crafting system in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is so fun. Like, how do you take collecting shit and turn it into something fun? It's like, it's great because you're getting all these cooking ingredients and all these different things that you get from monsters, and you're cooking and you're discovering like how to cook this, and you don't actually have a cookbook that tells you how to do this. There's the occasional recipe, but it's like the precedence is on discovering and figuring out and exploring and all these different little things, and like running through I can't remember what the island is called. Running through the island that Phoenix runs through, the only thing that you're doing is just solving these puzzles, doing quests that pretty much amount to nothing. Like, I've done 5 or 6 quests already that technically don't yield any rewards. And I'm hoping that it translates to something in the end game, but so far it hasn't. And the stories are not compelling enough for me to care solely about the story and not a reward. That's the heartbreaking part. There is something that I thought was relatively interesting, a storytelling technique that I do enjoy. Is Phoenix is described as a shield bearer, as kind of like this weakling that no one would see coming, the underdog, right?
Okay.
And she is constantly talking about, well, because I made my character female or femme presenting. Okay. So I would imagine that if it was the other way around, it would probably be like, if I picked a male character, the opposite sibling would probably be female. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, besides the point. She's constantly talking about her sibling and how great he is and how strong he is, and she's constantly comparing herself to him. And he appears in the game. Everyone on the island is like frozen in stone or whatever, and for some reason he isn't. And he appears, and he's kind of like shitty. Like, he's supportive, but he's like the condescending, like, oh, you thought the prophecy was talking about you. Oh, let me handle this. And I have the impression that he's going to end up being a bad guy. Now, for everyone who's already played and be like, wait till you play it, noob. Like, yeah, probably, whatever. But I find that really interesting. I don't think it hits the same way. Egoraptor did a video like years and years ago about Mega Man X.
Oh, man, I fucking love that video.
That video is a solid video that talks about the importance of theming and how they do their intro level, because he talks about the theme of Mega Man X is like its improvement, and the very end of that training level, Mega Man, you go against Vile, and there's no hit counter, so it's like he's just wrecking you, but Zero beats him in like one shot, so you're compared immediately to this guy Zero, and the entirety of the game is about reaching that level and then surpassing it. I like the idea of this character that you're constantly comparing yourself to as someone who's like greater than you, stronger than you, who's more charismatic, and then probably have to face them, I think is really cool. I just don't think they're doing anything particularly interesting with it, at least yet, and I don't think it really transfers well thematically. Like, oh, my brother's really cool. My brother, and I finally see him like 20 hours into the game because I'm just searching for shit instead of doing the story.
Right.
But that it's interesting enough. I just hope they go somewhere with it. That's all. I'll have another part of the review done. I might even finish the game by next Thursday.
Okay.
It's a fairly decent sized map. I don't want to discourage people. Like, it's a beautiful game. Like, for anyone who loves like beautiful vistas and blue oceans and cool diverse like regions, like, I recommend it. It's very fun. There's some really funny bits, solid storytelling. I love it almost, and I meant this as an insult kind of last week, but there are parts of it that I like when I say it feels like a game that was made in like 2000 that has its like remastered quality to it. You know how in like PlayStation games in 2000 or like N64 games would be fucking meta. Like they would look into the camera and look straight at you, or they would make jokes about like the credits rolling. Like this is the kind of shit that I see a lot of in this game, and it's really funny and it's really enjoyable. That's something that I like, but that's a personal, like, it's tugging at my like nostalgia 20-something-year-old heartstring. But I'm interested in seeing where it goes. It's still pretty fun. I'm just kind of turned off by like the find this, find that, not because it's like the point of the story to like enjoy finding something, than like, oh, here, just do this. Anyway, sorry. Did I black out? Did I land the plane?
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for next week. Hear the rest.
Yeah. Damn straight. Me too. Right. I'll put in another 5 minutes of Cyberpunk.
Sick. Any other gaming news on your side?
No, not at the moment. Okay. I'm still pretty fucking angry for like the last year that Deathloop is going to be a timed exclusive, and that this might be the only game ever to force me to get a Sony product. But that's just because I'm a fucking diehard Arcane fan. But I'm not angry. No.
Not
whatever.
Angry. Just pissed.
No. Yeah, just pissed.
You know what's even better? Fortnite is releasing a Master Chief skin.
I don't fucking care.
Anyway, so there was a topic we're discussing.
I heard.
Before we started the podcast, and we're like, "Whoa, let's just save it." I forgot what it was though.
Oh, Jesus!
It was just a discussion we were going to have, and I completely forgot.
What did I do?
No.
Price scalping. There
it is.
Yeah. So I'm less concerned about like the fact that some assholes bought like a shitload of PS4s, sold them to high markup value, and made fucking shitloads of money off it. I'm happier knowing, and I'm getting different like article readings off of it. One of them is saying it's the same people, another group is saying, or another news source is saying that it's like a different group of people.
Yeah.
But essentially the same thing was tried with the Xboxes, and Microsoft was like, oh shit, nah, we ain't letting this happen. And so they just refused the mass order.
Oh.
Yeah. The silliest fucking thing. I know there's way more to it. I know I'm probably like getting in the weeds, or not getting in the weeds enough about something like this, but like hearing this story here, let's find it. Let's fucking find it.
I mean, I don't know. Like, if people want to pay the marked up price, I mean, that's on them. Yeah, I don't like scalping, but at the same time, like, I'm one of those that I'll never buy a console when it first comes out, just because.
Right.
But personally, just because of bugs. Like, there seems like the first gen, it's just always, there's something wrong with the hardware and all this other stuff, and then the second gen or third are usually always better. And honestly, seeing the pictures and the size of the fucking PS4, I will gladly wait for a slim version. Down the road.
I suppose you want to wait for an even slimmer version of the fucking Xbox?
No, I'm not. I don't think I'll ever buy another Xbox. I'd rather just.
I'll buy you one.
I'll make
you have one.
I'd rather just play the Xbox games on my PC, which Microsoft lets me do.
Microsoft is constantly like one-upping Sony with shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think this if you even want to call it a console war at this point, it's just pandemic just kind of didn't even let it happen. It's just like I don't like. Obviously, last time. I mean, this discussion is happening now. Last time the PS4 kind of like wanted out, but this time Xbox really fucking pulled it out in the end with a lot of fucking things.
I would be more impressed if Sony was just like, if Sony was not just like, oh, hey, I'm going a separate way. Good luck with that, though.
Yeah. Like, I'll say Sony does have the exclusives, which is nice. But, But the aspect that you can get Game Pass and play your games on your Xbox or on your PC, it's like man, that's fucking great. It's like, wait, I don't even have to have an Xbox. I could just buy Game Pass and play all the games on my PC.
Or I could just fucking get a wonky ass weird controller and play that shit on my phone at 2 frames an hour.
But still, you have the option, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that like the amount of variety in your options for play is absolutely astounding. Like, I can't begin to tell you like how pleased I am that I can just go on my Xbox, peruse through games, and just pick however many my Xbox can fit and just fucking play them.
Yep.
Yeah. Take that, Sony.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this though. Once Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 comes out, whatever they're going to call it, I'm buying a PS5 if it's a PS5 exclusive. I will buy it at the cheapest possible price I can.
I wonder if it will be, though. It makes sense.
Well, I mean, Remake came out this year, so it's going to be a year soon. I don't... I can't see them letting go of a game like that.
I can agree
they're having the Game Awards. They had them today, and Final Fantasy VII won Best RPG, this year. And I'm trying.
Big whoop! They won it 20-something years ago. Let it go.
But what I'm saying is, like Final Fantasy VII, it sold a lot of copies. And I don't think, and I'm pretty, I'll say this. Final Fantasy VII Remake made me buy a PS4 so I can play that shit. So Sony got my money.
Yeah.
So it's like,
no, that's
and I know
what I'm saying.
And I know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. And it's
Sony can definitely force people's hand that kind of way, because it's like, how many people would do that for like Halo? Or, God forbid, I hate Gears of War, but like, who would do that for Gears of War? You could get a bunch of people who do shit just for the exclusives. But the thing is that, like, Sony has way more exclusives. And not only that, Sony has way more quality exclusives.
Yes.
Sony is kind of like, especially with the PlayStation, is just producing these fucking solid masterpiece ass movies. I mean, stupid. These masterpiece like video games, right? And like, despite all the recent mishigas, like Naughty Dog has always put out like quality video games like once every couple of years, right? Square Enix does like a couple of good ones every so often, but like fuck Square Enix. But like, what does Microsoft like churn out, like, genuinely?
Yeah,
that has the same quality that like The Last of Us, at least Part 1, had.
Right.
Or like, what is it? Fucking Death Stranding. Come on now, like Death Stranding.
Yeah, PlayStation has had great success with their exclusives. You gave great examples. I mean, Xbox has not been able, like, it seems like Sony's exclusives are mainly single player, and it just it brings you into this world of like, you can sit and play hundreds of hours and enjoy this beautiful game, where in Microsoft's position, it seems like most of theirs is really multiplayer based, and I feel like I'm not gonna say most people, like, for example, for me, like, I usually, when it comes to a multiplayer game, I focus on one, because, like, it's hard to get good at multiple games. Like, you can transfer some skills left and right, but the thing is, like, to get really good at a certain game, you need to really focus on the game. Like, when I played, like, you know, when we would sit down and do our LAN parties of Halo, like, I was decent, but I was nowhere near compared to everyone else, because that's the game that all of you guys played, Halo. Like, but then when
you were the COD dude.
But when we played, when we would LAN party Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, like, I would always be on the top of the leaderboards, because that was my jam. Like, that's all I played. Like, you guys would do decent, you know, you guys would have some games, but, like, if I was not fucking around, I was always on the top, you know, because that, again,
of course, like, your ass would be fucking on Rust, just wrecking people for like 5 straight fucking minutes, like, dead. Like, it wasn't fair. It's not fair watching you scurry around like a fucking I don't give a shit honey badger. Just, you know, it's all about situational awareness. Fuck you.
Like, when I had the original 360 and I was first getting to Call of Duty 4, there's that, and I never really still didn't get into Halo, but Gears of War 2 was new, and I was doing the multiplayer, and the transition, obviously third person to first person is completely different, but, like, I just couldn't get the hang of playing and getting good at Gears of War.
Folks, hold on, Harry, just stop saying that. Just stop. If anyone wants, like, a good like cover shooter, like, mechanic based game that isn't fucking sluggish and boring, play Uncharted. They perfected their fucking cover shooters with the first game.
But how's the multiplayer?
Shut the fuck up, Harry.
And I think that's the aspect that Microsoft has compared to Sony, where Sony's like, is the single player great? Okay, you know what? Why don't you just throw multiplayer so people can play? But, like, really focus on the single player. Just throw the multiplayer so we can maybe sell some extra copies. And the multiplayer does, like, I think another great example was Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider had a multiplayer. There's literally a video. I wish I can fucking play it, but from back in the day, you know, early 2010s of this YouTube channel, Machinima Respawn, and the 10-minute video is literally them trying to find a lobby to play Tomb Raider multiplayer, and they don't find anybody to play it. It's great. Christ. But, you know,
that decision, by the way, to like go back to the roots and just reintroduce Lara Croft and Tomb Raider as a fucking linear adventure game was the smartest thing that they could have done for that franchise. Like strip away the sex appeal. Not saying that she can't be like a sex icon still, but like, if I could just talk about this in a tangent for just a fucking moment, like them turning her into like an empowerment icon for like overcoming like trauma is so fucking good. I would take that over fucking short shorts and gun holsters any day, any fucking day.
And pointy boobs.
And pointy PlayStation 1 boobs. You jump backwards 3 times, she's naked. That's true, by the way. When you played the PlayStation whatever version of that game and like she strafe jumped backwards 3 times, she'd be nude.
I did not know this.
Not that it would do it for anyone, because again,
blocks,
pointy, blocky breasticles, but like, I don't know, maybe some people are in that. I don't mean to judge, sorry, not body shaming, but you know, like but yeah, fucking a matchmaking party or match movie waiting for a lobby for Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's so bad.
Did you ever find that article for the scalping?
Oh fuck! God damn it, Harry. All right, let me find.
Hey, this is all right. We're not professionals here. All right, we're just This is the section of the podcast where we just kind of ramble and go through fucking topic to topic to topic to topic, all right? You guys just sit there and enjoy it. This is usually the part where I start talking more because I ramble about random stuff.
Oh, yeah, you ramble. You know what? You guys don't fucking deserve the actual story, so I'm just going to read the sensationalist headlines.
Okay.
All right. Updated as of December 1st. This is on Eurogamer. I'm told they're not always the most trusted folks, but whatever. I'm not here to check the validity of that. I don't even have fucking training on how to do that. Let's see. The scalping group, the same one that claimed to have ordered 2,500 PS5s at launch yesterday, posted on social media it had secured over 1,000 plus Xbox Series X consoles from a very well-known online retailer, quote, quote. The scalping group charges a $29.99 monthly subscription or lifetime membership of $399 for its members to get information on how to carry out scalping themselves. It's a fucking pyramid scheme within a pyramid scheme.
Wow.
Jesus, that is great. The retailer in question, it seems, was very, which normally limits console purchases to per one address. It seems likely the scalping group was able to find a way around this, but unfortunately for the scalpers, the company has now canceled all the orders. Quote, as a result of the technical error, some people were able to place orders for PS5s and Xbox Series for a short time on Sunday. End quote. However, the items are not on quote. However, the items are not on sale, and affected customers have received notice that the offers have been canceled. So I love how it sounds so corporate too. Yeah. It's like the bots called to scam someone, except the bots got botted themselves. It's so good. I think
so meta.
Like World War III. It's so meta. I think like World War III is going to happen, like in that somehow. Like they're gonna their brains are gonna crash. They're gonna reboot, and then Ultron's gonna sweep in, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, why don't we just kill everyone?" Yeah. That shit's goofy.
That shit is goofy, dude.
It seems that there was an accounting error or some kind of clerical error. We take this very seriously. I mean, we're gonna have to fix that. Fucking, that's what you get. God, what gets me most of all is there is a membership on how to scalp. Like, oh hey, for a down payment of like $390, we'll show you the tips at Scalp Plus. God, so good. You want to start a scalping company? Let's start a scalping company. Let's do it. Let's call it Hitting the Mark with Harry and Mark.
Sounds good. Fuck this podcast.
Yeah, folks, we're going to start a Patreon. We're going to start a little company for only $399 a month. We'll teach you how to scalp. Give us a month. We'll learn it. It's probably not that hard to learn, but we won't teach you how to do it correctly.
Yeah, that.
Because that's the point of a Ponzi scheme. Fucking everyone's grade A jive turkey. Anyway, folks, I think that just about does it. I think I'm boring Harry with my scalping talk here. Hold on, let me get to my computer. Folks, if you are interested and would like to hear more about our little escapades or would like to watch some of our escapades, we recommend tuning into our Twitter. Yes, we do have a Twitter. We are going national, as the kids would say. Is that right? Going national? Anyway, at HTM capital HTM _ capital P podcast. HTM _ podcast. Hitting the Mark with Harry and Mark. We also have a YouTube channel as well. If you have any questions, if you like to propose any questions or have some kind of dialogue with us, anything you'd like to hear in the podcast, we have an email as well. I don't know how to read. Harry, help me out here.
I was going to say, you could just hit us up on Twitter or message us on YouTube, and we'll fucking reply.
There we go. Damn straight. There we go. I can read now. All lowercase letters, in case that matters. Hitting the Mark 2020 at gmail.com. Repeat, hitting the Mark 2020 at gmail.com. So, we'll be back next week. I don't want what we're talking about because all of this is freeform, and I like to take up all the time with useless nonsense. And Harry likes to rein me in. It never works because I talk myself to death.
All right, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.
Take care.